Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. It's about a week since I did the part 1 of sorting out the craft room, packing it up, clearing it, etc. And I didn't achieve a huge amount. I'm quite pleased with what I achieved, but there's so much left to do. I have managed to do little bits during this week. I'm not feeling 100% well at the moment, and so energy is really I'm struggling with energy levels, so I've not managed a huge amount, but I thought I'd share with you where I've got up to, and then we're going to just plow on and try a little bit more. Fingers crossed. Okay, so what's changed on here is probably here. These are the boxes I got for my pens, and so I have now managed to get rid of the 2 baskets that were in the small sort of stand thing that was still left at my desk. Managed to get rid of those now, and all my pens are in here. Yeah, that took up more of the boxes than I'd expected, so I had the right amount just about. I thought I was going to end up with spares, so that's a shame. What's happened over here is I have now got rid of the actual shelf that was the broken shelf. That's gone to the tip this morning. And in that box there is all of my Distress Oxides and Distress Inks. So they've gone off the top and now they're on there. You'll see here on the floor are the boxes that I ordered from Dunelm Mill. So they're ready for me to start using today. Obviously, I've already used one of them just to see how it would work. Unfortunately, one of the boxes, the lid was broken when it was delivered. So I do need to take that back to Dunelm and get that changed. I suppose this is probably the biggest change I made during the week, was I have got rid of, off this top shelf here, and this shelf. I've sort of amalgamated the two together by getting rid of all of my old iCads, the index card a day that I'd done. I got rid of all of those. Also got rid of some really old journals that I'd done. So the only journals I've kept are all of my circle journal ones. And I've kept those because they've got sentimental value. They are, you know, artwork that friends have made, that, you know, other talented artists have made, that I want to keep because I enjoyed the process of the circle journals. So those are staying. I have on my desk junk journals, and I think I'm going to get rid of those, but those I did and ah about for a bit, so they are sat on my desk. I'm going to have another look through, make sure I'm happy that I'm going to get rid of them, and I think they're going in the bin. Some of them are finished, some of them are not finished. To be honest, I just don't think I'm going to do junk journaling going forward. I enjoyed the process of the one I did in January, which I did share over here as I flipped through. That's already gone in the bin because it served its purpose. I enjoyed creating it at the time. I did a bit most days, not every day, and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't, these are sort of slightly more like photo junk journaling type things. I mean, I don't know, I might struggle to get rid of these, we'll see. But so these are on the desk to be dealt with. I think that's probably it in terms of progress made so far during the week, you know, like when I've had enough energy to do 10 minutes at a time or whatever. Most days I've worked, I've logged off and I've gone and had another lie down because I'm not there at the moment with my health. It is not brilliant, and there might have to be doctor's conversations next week to say, come on, this is just not right. Anyway, enough whinging. I am going to stick you in the tripod and just film whatever I manage to get done. Husband and daughter currently at the supermarket buying food for the next few days. So I've got at least a 20-minute, half an hour gap before they come home, and then we'll have some lunch probably. It's 12:40, so yeah, probably have some lunch when they come back with whatever goodies they've bought, and then try and plough on for the afternoon, although it might be a go and have a nap for the afternoon. Let's see. I'm feeling okay at the moment, but that's because I've just had a coffee. That's probably why. Okay. So, I'm not going to lie. There are various moments, again, where I get a little bit overwhelmed and I just sort of stare at stuff for a while. Anyway, I decided that, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to start taking things out of the room properly. So far I have taken all of my scrapbooks out of the room, and now I've taken my sewing machine. And by the end of this, I've taken quite a few bits out of the room. So now it looks weird because there's half the stuff, well, not half the stuff, but some of the stuff is missing. But yeah, there are quite a few points where I'm just going, what am I doing? So I started by emptying the cupboard on the left-hand side of my desk. Don't know why I started with that, but I did. And I created a box of all of my watercolour supplies and pencils. And now I am taking things out and piling them all up in the lounge, with many raised eyebrows from my husband as to the fact that I'm creating a big mess in there now. However, what I am doing is everything that I'm taking in there has already been organised. It's already been sorted. It's generally contained in a box, so it's easy to kind of stack them in the corner of the room. And it is quite a big lounge, so it's not like it's taking over. It just doesn't look very nice in there, and that's probably our nicest room of the house in terms of being tidy and clean, but not anymore. And then I had a good little sit down and a sift through all of the junk journals, which made me smile. I did enjoy looking at them. I found one loose photograph that probably need me to do something with at some point, so that's been popped on the desk. Everything else I looked at and thought, no, if I want to, I can re-scrap the photos. They're all photos that I've got digitally, so I didn't need to keep anything. And so as much as I enjoyed looking through them, I decided to throw them away. That last one was probably the toughest one to do, because that was the one that I documented Brave the Shave and my regrowth journey and the money I'd raised, etc. But again, it's quite flimsily made. I didn't make it well. So it is one of those that you just kind of think, well, it'll do as it is. I know the journey that I went through, and maybe there's another way of documenting it than in a junk journal. Again, taking boxes and things that are easy to stack through to the other room. And then I took my husband's football stuff. So he has things from when he used to play with his friends, 6-a-side and 5-a-side football. He has medals and trophies. I hate them. They're not my kind of thing, but they are his kind of thing, and he likes them, so they will have to stay on display somewhere in the house. I'd rather they be in this room than any other room, so because I don't go with anything else. I also took all of our yoga mats out that actually used to belong in the cupboard under the stairs downstairs, but when that got tidied, there was nowhere to put them, so they ended up in this room for some reason. So they're now currently on the hallway waiting to go to our bedrooms, because I think that's the most sensible place for them to be. I think they'll store easier in the wardrobe than here. At some point we will get out doing exercise again, but it's just not on the agenda at the moment. Then my intention of going through this stack of 2 boxes that had got all of my letter stickers in was in the hope to condense it down to one box. I didn't manage to do that, but I did get rid of a whole load of sticker sheets. I know that potentially I might find a use for them eventually, but unless they'd got a reasonable selection of the letters in them, like A's and E's being the main one, they went in the bin. I don't know. I mean, probably someone could have made use of them, but I just need them out of my house. So, and most of them are not sticky anymore. So, yeah. So I did sort them all out. It took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I think, in total to sort out all of the pouches. I had on a previous session, of decluttering, probably about 2 years ago, I had gone through all of my letter stickers and put them into colour pouches. So I am trying to keep to that system. So I've got ones that are white, ones that are black mainly, or then all of the different colours. So I am doing that and trying to keep them. So I do end up as well pulling out ones that are mainly numbers, because I think they're really handy for like children's birthdays or for, you know, special birthdays like 21, 18, you know, my mum's just turned 80. You know, those sorts of things, I think they're kind of handy to have around, is some larger number stickers. But yeah, I did get rid of probably, I slimmed it down by a lot because both of these tubs were like full to overflowing. Like they needed a good like compression to close them. Now they're both closed nice and easily and there's a bit of gapping in there. So yeah, so I was quite pleased with the job I did, even though if it didn't have the intended effect. I was hoping to have cleared this out to the point where I could use one of the boxes for then my page kits that I've got already made up. But there wasn't enough room to fit them all into one. I will say, I absolutely did not kind of keep with a theme when it came to today's pieces of tidying up and clearing, because at this point I moved on to a little bit of paperwork filing. I didn't end up actually filing anything. So the folders that are actually related to my husband, I took through to the lounge for him to review and decide whether he needs to keep them or not. And the other ones, I just pretty much shoved everything together and then put all of the paperworky type things into my desk cupboard. That's a future job, I decided. It wasn't a today job. But yes, this was me gathering all of those bits and pieces together from the bottom of the small bookcase, moving on to that. And then next I went and consolidated all of the Better Press and the Glimmer stuff. So that was sort of sitting in two separate boxes. It's still in two separate boxes because one's for the foiling and one's for the Better Press plates and glimmer plates. And then took those through to the lounge. And then the final job, because I'm now exhausted, is to just sort out this tissue paper, and I got rid of all the scraps. I used to keep them for mixed media work, but no, I just need tissue paper to be tissue paper and I don't need to worry about it. So anything that wasn't a scrap has gone, including I ended up folding up all of that Tim Holtz collage paper. And now I'm tired. So it's 4:15. I've done quite well. I did have a break for some lunch. And I did have a break in the middle and did some scanning of some stuff, which I did off camera, which allowed me to put some more bits into the bin. Do you know what? Quite a lot of progress has been made today. I think I'm quite close to demolishing a bookcase. So let me share with you where we're up to. Okay, so over there on the desk, the top shelf is getting emptier. And I now only have the drawer and the cupboard under there that also need emptying. Oh, sorry, no, the drawer under my desk, the actual working drawer. To be honest, that's just got a few tools in it, so it's not massive amounts of stuff, and I don't think that's ever going to get boxed up. But yeah, so there is some progress here. There's still a lot of work to do, and it's definitely not operational at this moment in time. This is my current bag of rubbish, so that needs taking downstairs, but then that'll be the second big bag of rubbish that's gone from this room, so that's really positive. So in terms of the bookcase, let me just wobbly tilt you up. So nothing on the top. That top shelf has got page kits, jelly printing stuff, and cards that I've made. This all needs sorting, although I know what's in all of it, but it does need sorting out and seeing whether I can put it into something else. And this all needs sorting. This here is actually stuff that I need to sell, so I'm not sure what to do with that at the moment. Have been selling a few bits and pieces. This is empty, this is empty, and that's just a bag that I take to crops. Those two baskets are fine. I kind of want to keep them out for the moment. Tools, I need to empty that and check what's in that. And those two are memory keeping type things. You can see just peeking, there's like a rattan basket behind there, and that's cardstock. So I'm kind of okay with that. This velour box. Also, I need to check through that. I think that's got like poker chips and things, and obviously the printer will need moving at some point. And the smaller bookcase, that top shelf's already gone. There's just some photo albums, those circle journals. The next shelf has got filing that I need to sort out. The next shelf is like work notebooks and stuff, so they need to go into the cupboard under the desk. And then there is a whole shelf of books and what else is in there? Like tourist guides and things like that we've had at some point. Like I can see Jorvik there, I think Windsor Castle's in there, those sorts of things. So I need to go through those and decide where they're going to live. And the bottom is now empty. Let's see if I can tip you down. And there is just some photo frames on the floor that I need to sort out and another book. And on the sofa, we've got a couple of photo frames. We have the broken box that needs to go back to Dunelm so that I can change that. And me, tired me. So I'm going to finish there for today. So this is part 2 of sorting it out. As I say, I think I'm quite close. I think that bookcase might get emptied tomorrow and dismantled and taken to the tip. I think that's the plan. Might even get my husband to help me tonight. I probably won't video us taking it apart. So the next time you see it, it might be that there's a load of stuff on the floor but no bookcase. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I know that there's not very many crafting videos happening at the moment because of the state of my room. So thank you for sticking with me throughout March. There's been a couple, but not very many, because this has been the main project that I needed to work on. Still a few things on my blog, things that I've made at crops, etc. So I have still got a few things going out there into the world, but the reality is not really been in a state, like there's no way on earth I could make a video of me making anything at that desk at this moment in time. It's a complete disaster zone, really. So yeah, but I'm getting there. So thank you so much for persevering with me. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please leave me a comment below. I'd love some what is it, some cheering going on. What is it? I'd love you to I can't think of the words. I am that tired. So yeah, yeah, spur me on, give me some words of encouragement. That's the sort of thing that I was trying to say. I don't actually know the words I was trying to say. I think that's all I'm going to say now. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bye bye.